You're sitting at a restaurant with a group of friends. The food was great, the vibes were good, and then the bill arrives. $70 per person. Nobody flinches. Credit cards hit the table without hesitation. Everyone's laughing, talking about the new car they just leased, the designer bag they put on their credit card, the luxury vacation they're planning for next month. And there you are, thinking about the paid-off 2018 Honda parked outside, wearing your clean, normal, non-designer outfit, quietly calculating whether this dinner fits your budget. In that moment, it's so easy to feel like you're behind, like everyone else figured something out that you didn't, like you're the only one not living your best life. But here's what nobody at that table will ever tell you. Most of them are completely broke. And you, the one feeling behind, you might actually be the only one winning. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see your financial situation in a completely different light. Today, we are going to talk about something that almost nobody discusses honestly: the gap between looking wealthy and actually being wealthy. Because in 2026, we live in a world where image is everything, where social media makes everyone look rich, where your neighbor drives a $100,000 truck but has less in savings than you spent on groceries last month. And here's the dangerous part. Most people have no idea they're falling for it. They see the luxury cars, the designer clothes, the fancy dinners posted online, and they start to feel inadequate. They start spending money they don't have to keep up with people who are also spending money they don't have. It's a cycle, a very expensive, very quiet cycle. But today, I'm going to show you 3 clear signs that you are actually crushing it financially, even if it doesn't feel that way. And I'm going to back it up with real math, real psychology, and real stories. Because the truth is, real wealth is invisible. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you stop chasing the wrong things. Let's get into it. Here's a statistic that stopped me in my tracks the first time I read it. Approximately 30% of American households earning $100,000 a year have less than $10,000 in liquid savings. Let that sink in for a second. $100,000 a year and less than $10,000 saved. That means they are one car breakdown, one medical bill, one layoff away from total financial collapse. Yet their Instagram looks incredible. Their parking space has a BMW in it. Their kids are wearing designer sneakers. This is what I call the performance of wealth. It's not actual wealth, it's a show. And most people watching the show have no idea they're the audience. Now compare that to the research done in the book The Millionaire Next Door. The findings were shocking. Most real millionaires, people with actual verified net worths of $1 million or more, drive cars that are 3 to 6 years old, live in homes worth less than 3 times their annual income, shop at normal stores, wear affordable non-branded clothing. They don't look rich, they don't act rich, they just are rich. Because they understood something early that most people never figure out. Every dollar you spend performing wealth is a dollar that never builds actual wealth. The first sign you are financially ahead of almost everyone around you is something called lifestyle lag. Here's what it means. Your current lifestyle looks like someone earning your salary 3 to 5 years ago would have. Think about that. You got a raise, but you didn't immediately move to a bigger apartment. You got a promotion, but you're still driving the same car. Your income went up, but your monthly expenses barely moved. That is the move. Because here's what the average person does. The second their paycheck increases, their lifestyle matches it. New apartment, new car, new wardrobe, new vacations. Their spending rises to meet or exceed their new income. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it silently destroys wealth. Now let me show you the math, because this is where it gets real. Meet Sarah and Frank. Both start earning $55,000 a year. Over 5 years, both grow their income to $85,000. Frank does what most people do. Every raise, every bonus, lifestyle upgrade. Nicer apartment, newer car, better restaurants. He enjoys his money. He looks successful. He feels successful. Sarah does something different. She stays in her modest apartment. She keeps her used car. She keeps her spending almost identical to what it was at $55,000. And she invests the difference every single month at an 8% annual return. 20 years later, Sarah has $889,000. Frank has $494,000. Sarah didn't earn more than Frank. She didn't get lucky. She didn't have some secret investment strategy. She simply refused to perform wealth, and that decision made her nearly $400,000 richer. Now, here's the psychological trap that makes this so hard. It's called the Diderot effect. In the 1700s, a French philosopher named Denis Diderot received a beautiful new robe as a gift, and almost immediately, everything else in his life started to feel inadequate by comparison. His old furniture, his old desk, his old rug. One by one, he replaced them all, going deeply into debt in the process. One luxury purchase triggers another, and another, and another. You buy the new car, now your apartment feels too modest. You upgrade the apartment, now your wardrobe feels cheap. You upgrade the wardrobe, now your vacation destinations feel embarrassing. It's a spiral, and it keeps the middle class broke forever. By choosing lifestyle lag, you're not falling behind. You're opting out of a hedonic treadmill that most people run on their entire lives and never win. Before we go to sign number 2, I want you to actually calculate something right now. This is called the Wealth Scorecard Formula. It comes directly from the Millionaire Next Door, and it gives you a real-time picture of where you actually stand. Here's the formula. Take your age, multiply it by your annual pre-tax household income. Divide that number by 10. That is your expected net worth for your age and income. Now, if your actual net worth is double that number or more, you are what researchers call a PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth. You are genuinely, mathematically ahead of almost everyone your age. If your actual net worth is significantly lower than that number, you are an underaccumulator of wealth. You are likely spending to perform success rather than actually building it. Take a moment, run that number. It might surprise you in either direction. Sign number 2 is one that messes with a lot of people's heads. You actually feel cash poor, despite doing everything right. Here's why this happens. If you are truly building wealth, most of your money is invisible. It's in retirement accounts you can't touch. It's in index funds that you auto-invest into before you even see the paycheck. It's in a down payment fund sitting quietly in a high-yield savings account. You might have $150,000 in retirement accounts and investments, but you look at your checking account, see $1,200, and feel like you can't afford a nice dinner. And here's the thing. That feeling is actually evidence that you're doing it right. You are maximizing your don't touch buckets and minimizing your spending buckets. This is exactly how genuinely wealthy people think. Warren Buffett, one of the richest humans who has ever lived, famously still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,000. He has said publicly that every dollar spent on a depreciating luxury car is a soldier sent to die. Think about that metaphor for a second. Every dollar is a soldier. You can send it to die on a depreciating luxury car, or you can send it to capture territory through compound interest. Now let me hit you with what I call the 173 rule. Take any monthly expense, multiply it by 173. That's roughly its 10-year compounded opportunity cost at 8% returns. A $500 monthly car payment? That's not just $60,000 over a decade. That's $86,000 of wealth you never build. Over 30 years, that same $500 a month becomes nearly $750,000. $750,000. Gone, for a car that loses value the second you drive it off the lot. So the next time your checking account looks thin and you feel like you can't keep up with your friends, remember, your soldiers are fighting battles they can't even see yet, and they're winning. Sign number 3 is the one nobody talks about, and honestly, it might be the most important one. You get grief for being financially disciplined. You say no to an expensive group trip, someone calls you cheap. You drive a modest car, someone makes a joke about it. You decline to split a $1,000 birthday dinner tab, suddenly there's awkward silence. Here's the truth behind why this happens. When you make a disciplined financial choice around people who are making undisciplined ones, you create what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Your action implies their action might be wrong, and to resolve that discomfort, they need to discredit you. They need to frame your discipline as a flaw, not a strength. So they call you cheap, or boring, or out of touch. And it's so easy to cave under that pressure, to just spend the money to avoid the awkwardness, to go along with the group to avoid being the odd one out. But here's what the long game looks like. Meet David. David drove a used car, lived in a modest home, said no to a lot of expensive social plans. His friend group, same income level, all drove luxury SUVs and lived in big houses. By age 38, David had built a net worth of $265,000. His friends, despite the same income, combined average net worth of $18,000. By age 55, if David continues on his current path, he will be a multi-millionaire with the freedom to retire whenever he wants. His friends? Statistically, they will still be working, still stressed, still one emergency away from crisis. The people criticizing your discipline today are the same people who will be asking you for financial advice in 20 years. The social friction is not a punishment, it's a signal. It means you're playing a different game than everyone around you, and it's the right game. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because everything we've talked about today isn't really about money, it's about freedom. Real wealth is not a Rolex on your wrist. Real wealth is not a luxury car in your driveway. Real wealth is not a designer bag on your arm. Real wealth is options. It's being able to walk away from a job you hate without panicking. It's being able to handle a medical emergency without going into debt. It's being able to say yes to an opportunity because you have the financial foundation to take the risk. It's being able to retire early, or work less, or pivot careers because you're not trapped by your monthly expenses. Mark Zuckerberg, worth over $200 billion, famously wears the same gray t-shirt almost every single day. Steve Jobs did the same thing with his black turtleneck. Were they cheap? Were they behind? Did they not live their best life? No. They understood that luxury is an attention vampire. It creates complexity, decision fatigue, psychological noise. By eliminating it, they freed their mental energy for the things that actually mattered. The pursuit of looking wealthy is a full-time job. It demands constant upgrades, constant comparisons, constant performance. The pursuit of actual wealth is quiet. It's boring. It's disciplined, and it leads to a life that most people, the ones tossing credit cards at restaurant tables, will never experience. So here's where we land. The next time you feel behind because you're driving a used car, the next time you feel inadequate because your apartment is modest, the next time you feel out of place because you said no to an expensive dinner, remember the 3 signs. Number 1, your lifestyle is lagging behind your income on purpose. That's lifestyle lag, and it's making you wealthy. Number 2, you feel cash poor because your money is invisible, quietly compounding in accounts you don't touch. Your soldiers are out there fighting for you. Number 3, you are experiencing social friction because your discipline makes people uncomfortable. That friction is proof you're on the right path. Look poor, build wealth, live completely free. Because the only person you actually need to impress is the version of yourself 10 years from now. The one with options, the one with freedom, the one who never has to panic about money ever again. That version of you is being built right now, in the quiet decisions, in the disciplined choices, in the moments where you said no to the performance and yes to the foundation. Keep going. If this video hit differently for you today, if it made you feel seen or validated or just a little clearer about your financial path, do me one favor. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. A friend who's been feeling behind, a sibling who's caught in the lifestyle inflation trap, someone you care about who's performing wealth instead of building it. This information changes lives, but only if it reaches the right people. Drop a comment below telling me which of the 3 signs resonated with you the most. Sign 1, sign 2, or sign 3. I read every single one. And if you want to go even deeper on building real lasting wealth the quiet way, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next video in this series is going to completely change how you see money, status, and success. I'll see you there.